Welcome into Sports Illustrated's Wildcats Daily. I'm your host, Lauren Withrow. Joining me today is the 7th addition to Northwestern football's class of 2022, edge rusher Denis Jaquez Jr. Denis, you had a relatively quick commitment process from the date that you received your official offer from Northwestern on June 9th to the time you made your official visit on the weekend of June 18th, and then making your commitment decision on June 23rd. At what point did you know that Northwestern was the right choice for you?
The moment I went up there, at the end of the first day of my visit, I already knew that was the spot.
What was it about the school that stood out to you first?
Definitely the coaching staffs. Those are real cool guys. Like, I look up to those guys. They talk to me as if I'm already on the team. They spoke to me like, you can tell they wanted the best for me.
What are your conversations with the coaching staff like in terms of frequency and kind of content? Like, what are you talking to them about and how often?
Oh, we're speaking on a daily basis right now. So like right now we're speaking about, trying to get other players and stuff like that, helping out. And then we also speak about, what they see me as in their defensive program. So in the scheme and all that. So right now they're going to have me as a outside edge rusher, defensive end, of course. They tell me about my playing weight, the stuff that we're going to do up there, my potential, stuff like that.
You made several other visits before coming to Northwestern. What was different about the Northwestern coaching staff compared to those other schools?
Well, one thing I've noticed with the coaching staff at Northwestern is the stability. Those guys have been there for a good amount. So, I'm looking at the other schools and those coaches are in and out of other schools. So like, that's not something I want to have to worry about at Northwestern.
In terms of the defensive strategy, why are you a good fit to play on the defensive line?
I think so. I think I'm a good fit because, I'm powerful. I have some good speed, and I make plays. And I feel like I can definitely add that to the Northwestern defense.
When you talk to the coaching staff, defensive line coach Marty Long and defensive coordinator Jim O'Neill, what parts of your game are they trying to hone in on before you come to campus?
So that's funny because when I went up there, they actually compared me to a defensive end that's in the NFL already. His name is Jerry Hughes. And so we sat in the film room and he was comparing my plays to Jerry Hughes' plays. And I'm just looking at it like, wow, like I really play like this guy and it's real dope. So, it's like someone you can look up to and, you can try to mimic your game after.
What were the specific similarities that they saw between you and that player?
So first thing I noticed is I'm also a stand-up DN, so I'm in a two-point stance, and Jerry Hughes was also in the two-point stance. He can also stop the run at any time. I can do the same thing. He's also a great pass rusher, which is something I want to be, something I can definitely improve on, but it's something I'm definitely going to improve on.
What do you think is going to be the biggest adjustment that you have to make once you get on campus?
Probably, not having my parents, being alone, but, I have my teammates for that, so it'll be okay.
What role have your parents and your family played in your football career thus far?
Oh, being at every game, my biggest supporters. They're at every game. They're at every training session. They're driving me to every training session, driving me back home, making sure I'm eating right, making sure I'm drinking the right fluids, making sure my grades are on point, everything. They're just on me, and it's a good thing though, because that's something that I need.
You shared a video on Twitter of you at 8 years old tackling the quarterback. When you look at that video at you at 8 years old to where you are now, where do you see yourself in the future?
Probably the same thing 8-year-old me is saying right now, still dreaming of being in the NFL, playing as much football as possible. So, yeah.
Are there any players on the current team that you've reached out to and talked to that have kind of helped guide you through this process?
Oh, yeah. When I went up there, actually, I met a couple players. I met Sean, defensive end. I met Cam. I met a couple other guys, too, and they were real cool. They when they spoke to me, they kept it real with me. They didn't, try to persuade me to come. They told me how it's going to be, what I should expect, and if I'm ready for it, to join the family.
You are one of a dozen current commits in your class. What is the dynamic within that group like?
It's dope. We have a group chat, so we all speak to each other and we have fun. We clown jokes, guys being guys. But like when I met those guys in person, like the first couple of like minutes, we already clicked. We were already making jokes also. We were having fun. We were, planning, following each other's social medias, which is real important and stuff like that. So, it could tell like those guys, like they're on the same page as me. And that's real important, because you are who you hang around with.
What is your biggest goal once you're at Northwestern?
Definitely to get on the field. That's probably definitely 100%. I want to play, I'm not a guy who likes to, watch other people play. I mean, I'm proud when they play and they make big plays, but I also want to be that guy that makes the big plays, if you know what I mean.
When the going gets tough and you're trying to earn those minutes, especially early on, what keeps you motivated?
My family, where we're coming from, we don't have the greatest like upbringing, but I can have home in my head all the time that I'm not just playing for myself. I'm playing for my family, my mom, my dad, my younger brother, my cousins, my aunts, uncles, you name it, all of them.
Do you have a certain pregame, postgame tradition with your family that keeps you grounded for every game that you head into?
We hit a prayer every morning. We're on the way to school, as a family, stuff like that. And then, they wish me luck, of course. My dad always texts me right before the game, he's going to be there, tells me to play my heart out, pretend like it's my last game. So.
Is that your motivation every game you go into, playing like it's your last game?
It has to be, yeah. You never know when it's the last one. So you might as well just play like it's your hardest. Play your hardest, I mean.
Finally, what is the most important thing that you want Northwestern fans to know about you before you come to campus?
I'm here to compete. I'm here to, I want to win a championship. I want to be the best player I can be, and they're going to get the best out of me. So, yeah, I can't wait to be up there.
Denis, thank you so much for your time. We cannot wait to watch you throughout your senior year and then once you get onto campus in the fall. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
For more updates on Northwestern football recruiting, keep it right here on Sports Illustrated's Wildcats Daily.